Hello Internet, I'm Hazel and this is a look at the Affliction Warlock PvP Talent tree in Legion. If you haven't already, I recommend first checking out my video on the Affliction Warlock changes in Legion to get an idea for what baseline spells you'll be working with. You'll unlock the following PvP talents as you level up in the new Honor 2.0 system, and they'll work in PvP combat only. The first 10 levels will get you started with the 6 abilities in the left column, and then leveling further gives you more options. Just like with regular talents, you'll be able to choose one option from each row. These talents are very much a work in progress, and there may be significant changes before Legion launches. The first row is the same for every class and spec in the game, with a focus on getting out of CC. Gladiator's Medallion is your new PvP trinket. Trinkets won't work in PvP, and the human racial is also being adjusted, so this is it. It's unlocked at Honor level 1, so at least you get it right away. Adaptation is a passive option that automatically gets you out of long CC with a 1.5 minute internal cooldown. It'll get you out of things more often than the default trinket, but overall, probably not worth it. Relentless passively reduces the duration of all CC you take by 25%. That looks really nice for beginners and casual PvP. The second row is the same for all DPS specs. Train of Thought increases all damage you do by 15% if you haven't been hit in the last 8 seconds. In a battleground situation where you can find a safe place to multi-dot, that's really strong. Mind Quickness gives you a passive 15% haste, no strings attached. That's a safe choice if you find yourself getting targeted a little too often for Train of Thought. Initiation gives you 30% more crit on targets above 80% health. That's interesting, but it doesn't seem worth taking over Mind Quickness. The third row is shared with all Warlock specs and lets you choose a curse. Cursive Tongue slows casting speed by 30% for 10 seconds and has a 15-second cooldown. Cursive Weakness reduces the target's physical damage by 25% for 10 seconds on a 20-second cooldown. Cursive Fragility reduces the target's maximum health by 20% for 10 seconds on a 45-second cooldown. Which curse you take here really depends on what you're facing and how offensive you want to be. The fourth row has some very strong defensive talents. Nether Ward shields you for 5 seconds, reflecting all harmful spells cast on you during that time. It only has a 45-second cooldown, so it's kind of like Warrior's Spell Reflect, but on crack. Spellstone causes your health stone to also cleanse you of all harmful magic, disease, and poison effects. That might be nice against DKs and rogues if there isn't anything good to Spell Reflect. Demon Skin increases the healing bonus of your Fel armor by 15%, and your demon receives 15% more healing. That one isn't a bad pick when fighting cleaves. The fifth row has some of our first affliction-specific talents. Soul Siphon generates 1 soul shard for you every 5 seconds if you have Unstable Affliction active on 3 or more targets. That looks like it'll be difficult to maintain given that UA costs a soul shard each to cast. Soul Tap lets you generate a soul shard every time you life tap, but life tap costs you an additional 5% health, bringing it to 15% in total. That's a scary thing to do to yourself in PvP. Soul Shatter is a 1-minute cooldown that instantly clears all of your dots on enemies within 50 yards, deals 1% of their total health and shadow damage, and restores 5 soul shards to you per enemy. 1% is basically no damage, and you can only hold 5 soul shards at a time? That's almost certainly going to see some tweaking before it goes live. The sixth row is also affliction specific and should help you pump out more damage. Amplify Afflictions reduces the GCD of your curses, agony, corruption, and UA by half a second. That should save you a huge amount of time when initially spreading your dots, especially over a high number of targets. Rotten Decay causes your drain life or soul to refresh the duration of UA and corruption on the target. UA costs a soul shard initially and should hit quite hard, so that's very good when damaging 1 to 3 people. Soul Swap copies your dots, preserving their duration, and then pastes them onto a new target. The soul shard cost is set to 100, which is safe to say means they haven't decided yet. Depending on how expensive it is and whether or not they smack a cooldown on it, this could be a go-to choice. So, those are the PvP talents you'll unlock as an Affliction Warlock in Legion. A few of them sound kind of crazy, so it's hard to say what'll stick at this point. What do you think the best talents are? Let me know what you think, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!